Yeah, well, first off, just want to start by saying welcome to everybody. My name is Ilya. I'm the CEO, co-founder here at VanHack. VanHack, for anyone who might not know, is one of the world's largest international tech recruiting companies. We focus on helping companies hire tech talent from anywhere in the world and relocating them to their countries or their cities, or of course, working remotely as well. We've been around for about 7 years and made over, I guess, 1,600 hires. We should update the banner here. And we're really, once the Ukraine situation happened, a few weeks ago, we decided that we would help the Ukrainian candidates that we have on our platform. We actually had 2 candidates hired in February from Ukraine, one of who got hired just a few hours before the Russian invasion happened and was able to get to Poland. So some really, hard stories to hear, and we want to do our best to help out. So we've had an incredible response from the community, the employer tech hiring community, and our team's been busy having a lot of conversations. So we decided to do a webinar as well to kind of give some more clarity about the issue, and help answer all of your questions. So Terry, I see you have your hands raised. We'll definitely have a lot of time for Q&A. And one thing I want to say is, I was on a webinar yesterday that was basically just death by PowerPoint. We had 3 presenters talking for 20 minutes each, and like PowerPoint slides and stuff like that. And I really don't want to have that in our webinar. So Michael, Dana, no pressure, but let's have a conversation and really have a nice interaction, so people can get their questions answered and feel like they got some value and had a good time with us. Yeah, no slides here. Exactly. And of course, this session is also being recorded, just for housekeeping, and also it'll be available on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/VanHack. We'll also send out an email after this with the recording, so everyone will be able to review if you want to share with someone, or if there's anything you want to see again. Anyway, let's jump in. So today we have two speakers. We have Michael Haberman, who is here with us from Prime Relocation Services. He's been one of our longest partners, helping relocate VanHackers, or developers. We call our candidates VanHackers, to Germany. And we'd like Michael to go first, because he's actually in Europe. It's a little bit later there. So Michael, I just want to see if are you there? I know you're kind of here on a panel, but maybe if you can unmute yourself and just do a little mic check here.
Yeah, hello to everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So I just give you a very short insight into the situation for Ukrainian refugees right now. So the normal situation for Ukrainian citizens would be that they will need a visa if they want to work in Germany. And that process, there are several ways to approach. And obviously that also takes several months normally until they get a visa from the German embassy in Ukraine. And only once they have that visa, they are allowed to enter Germany and start employment here. They still need a residence permit in Germany and work permit, but that would be the step after getting the visa. Obviously, right now the embassy in Ukraine is not working and is not issuing any visas. So therefore, the government just search for other options, and the situation is currently really easy for Ukrainian citizens to come to Germany and even to start employment without a visa. So once Ukrainian citizens come to Germany as refugees of war, they automatically got shelter here in Germany. And that shelter is granted for up to 90 days, so until end of May this year. So anybody who comes to Germany automatically has a right to stay here in Germany without any further registration. Everybody who's coming a refugee of war can register in Germany as a refugee. Has several advantages because they will automatically then get shelter or accommodation. They will get food, medical treatment. They have access to social welfare. Kids can go to school. So this is optional. For some people, it might be okay not to do it when they have relatives here or friends where they can have an apartment. But that would be an option to register as a refugee. What is important is that they are not registering as or asylum seekers, because when they would do that, okay, I just read that nobody can hear me. I don't know if that's true.
No, we can hear you. I think just we can't see you.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. So it's very good. It's very important that they don't register as asylum seekers, because that would prevent them for all these topics I just mentioned. They won't get social welfare. They are not allowed to go to school. They don't get a residence and work permit. That's the most important thing. They will just have to wait until the decision is made for their asylum. So very important. First, just come to Germany. Either do nothing and just be here until end of May, or register as a refugee of war. And once the people did that, they can start applying for a work permit. As said previously, normally a visa is essential. Now it's not essential anymore. So when they fulfill all the requirements for being employed, then they can apply for this work permit at the local foreigners office. And that's a topic which we are normally handling on a daily basis. So getting a work permit for IT professionals in especially is not a problem. And this will be granted quite easily and quite fast. So previously you would have to wait several months to hire somebody from Ukraine. And now if he's already here in Germany, it might be that you can hire him within less than a month. Yeah, so that's the very big advantage. The people definitely need some kind of documentation. So now that might work, the video, let's see. No, does not work. Okay. There. Perfect. So my last point was that you can really hire them easily, and they are ready to start the company, I think, within roughly 4 weeks. It always depends where your company is located. Cities, the foreign office is not really efficient, and it takes a little bit longer. In smaller cities, medium-sized cities, that will be very easy, and you could get them hired quite quickly. After people have stayed here until May, I'm very sure that there will be an extension depending on the situation in Ukraine, but as it looks now, there will be definitely an extension of that rule. So in case you hire them and they are already here, you can be pretty sure they can stay here more or less forever until they are working in your company. So there will be no change of the situation when the war is over or anything. They'll be just treated as normal cases as before the war started.
Hey, Michael, sorry, do you mind turning off your video?
That's the most important to start with.
Sorry, Michael, do you mind turning off your video? I think when you turn on the video, it really made it laggy.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks everyone for the comments there.
Okay. So, yeah. So I think that's most important to start with. Just a quick summary. Just get them here. When you want to offer the job, they need to apply for a work and visit the local foreigners office. And depending on the size of the foreigners office, in which city you are, that can happen within a month or several weeks. I just put you in my contact details here. So if you have any questions, you me, and I'm happy to help you answering your questions or just showing you around what you need to do with the foreigners office. All right. Yeah. So that with the mails, of course, difficult for those people who can't leave the country, but that's nothing we can deal here. But for everybody who made it to here, and all females, of course, for them, these regulations apply. And as said, like that's most likely the easiest way currently to hire good, educated IT professionals from Ukraine.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, that's my part from here.
Does anyone else have questions for Michael before he signs off? Anyone here from Germany who would like to ask a question? Please, Shimena, go ahead. Or I see the first one came here. Olena is asking, where those who made it to Germany, where can they register and apply for status?
As said, like when they are here until end of May, they don't have to register. They can just stay here in Germany, and then they need to, if they want to work, they need to apply for a work and residence permit at the local foreigners office. If they need to register because, for example, they don't have a place to live, or they need any medical treatment or social welfare, then they need to go to the local welcome center. It's called differently in each city or in each federal state. Some call it arrival center, some call it Erstaufnahmeeinrichtung. The easiest is when you just Google for the city and Ukraine, you most likely get all the info that you need. Here, like for Berlin, that would be berlin.de/Ukraine. There you find all the info for refugees, where they have to go, where they have to register. And the procedure is more or less the same all over Germany.
Thank you, Michael. Sarah, I see a few people asking about Canada. We're going to go to Canada next. So we have companies here from all over the world, a lot from Europe. So we just wanted to bring someone from Germany, and just for people who are in other countries other than Germany, on short notice, we were only able to bring on Michael, but we'll be sending out some information about other countries, because I know that Portugal and a bunch of other countries have created similar types of visa programs, and our team can help you if you are from a country in Europe that's not Germany. We can also help you with those programs directly. So any other, Evelyn asked here, Ukrainian men 18 to 60 are supposed to stay in their country and fight. If family members move to another country and get settled, no plans to return to Ukraine, will this be extended to Ukrainian men once the war is over? Or will there be additional paperwork? So basically, what will happen once the war is over? Will the Ukrainian men be able to also have the same program that's happening now?
Yeah, well, there's no regulation for that right now. That's still something that has to be defined by the government in the coming month. Right now, the situation would be if the war is over and the situation is back to normal, then the Ukrainian men, if they want to work here in Germany, they would need to apply for a visa in Ukraine then. But as said, like right now, nobody knows what happens. That's something we can't answer right now. It will definitely be additional paperwork.
Great, thank you, Michael. And just, I see, Dennis, you asked about IT professionals managed to leave and available for work. Well, I'll answer that question soon. I think those are all the questions there for Michael, if there's any more.
Yeah, if there are any more, send me a private message. I just copied you my details. I'm just doing that here again. If you have any questions regarding relocation or the situation of applying for work permits here and the residence permit, just send me an email and I'm happy to help you.
Great, thank you, Michael. Thanks for staying up a little bit late. Well, not staying up late, but working a little bit late, I should say.
No issues.
So, yeah, Dankeschön.
Okay.
Yeah, talk
All
soon.
the best to you.
Thank you, Michael.
All
All
right.
right. So next up, we're going to talk about relocation to Canada. And for that, I'm really excited to be inviting Dana O'Born, from the Canadian Council of Canadian Innovators to join us. So hi, Dana. Good to see you again. And if you can give us a quick update on the Canadian government's visa process for Ukrainian nationals.
Sure thing. And thanks to everybody, and lots of thoughts going out to people who have had families impacted by this situation. I think, all people are trying to move as quickly as possible in the event that things do intensify. So just a very high level, we're a business council. We work with a ton of high growth Canadian technology companies. Several companies have employees in the Ukraine that they have been thinking about getting out. Some of our companies had, before things intensified, moved a number of their employees to Lviv on the border of Poland. And obviously when things broke out now, it's sort of a crisis mode. So I'm not an immigration specialist myself, but I'm happy to convey to you what we know from the government and break down some of the announcements that were made last week. So you don't need a visitor visa to come to Canada as a Ukrainian national, but you do need a work permit to work in Canada, of course. So those are sort of the rules pre-situation here. Last week, the federal government made some changes in sort of two fronts, and they are looking at making a few others. And I see lots of questions as well coming in the chat, which I've got some answers for too. So the first sort of major change is that the government of Canada will be establishing a Canada-Ukraine authorization for emergency travel, offering visas for Ukrainian nationals who want to relocate to Canada for at least 2 years. So this will mean that you do not need to have a job. The immigration stream will include several features. So one, no limit on the number of people who can come through on the application system. So they're not saying, we're only taking in 1,000 Ukrainians. It's unlimited. There will be no application fees. I'll pop all of this into the chat as well. The application will include a simple form. So hopefully they're true to their word on that, because we know how complicated some of these things can often be. And the requirement for biometrics will be present. What we are unclear on is whether or not those biometrics will be processed on this side or on the Ukrainian side. We were told by IRCC that they had deployed a number of biometric kits before things really intensified to their different embassies across the European Union in the event that things did get worse. But the question has also come up, what does that mean by biometrics? It's likely just, fingerprints and passport scanning. And then finally, Ukrainians who do come to Canada under this stream will be eligible to open, pardon me. I want to make sure I say this clearly. Ukrainians who do come to Canada in this way will be eligible to apply for open work permits. So it's a little bit different than previous, where you have to if you're intending to work in Canada, you have to come with your visa or your work permit. They're allowing people to come in before they make those applications. So the second measure is a special family reunification sponsorship pathway to permanent residence for Ukrainians who have fled and do have family in Canada. Now, many of you are probably aware that Canada has one of the largest Ukrainian diasporas in the world. So there is a big network of Ukrainians, especially here in Greater Toronto area and Etobicoke. And there is quite a big population of Ukrainians as well in Alberta, centrally sort of in Edmonton. So having family obviously helps with resettlement. So if people have family here and they would like to resettle here permanently, the details of this program are being finalized, and they are going to publish these probably in about a week's time. So a couple of things just to keep your eye out on is what that application form will look like. And making sure, obviously, that so many people have fled in such horrific circumstances that they may not have all the paperwork they need. So I think the IRCC is going to be a little bit flexible on that. One of the things that we have been told is that they have upped some capacity in places like Warsaw and Bucharest. So if you do know people who are fleeing, obviously going to some of the major city centers, but I think there was a question to my German colleague before just about, what's happening. I can only imagine by the pace of people leaving and moving that the further away you are from the Ukrainian border, the services will be provided at a little bit of a higher capacity. I've heard that wait times are quite high, but again, I'm obviously not there on the ground. And obviously a big game changer is changing those application fees. So there were a couple questions in here in the chat that I just want to scroll back through around, is the Canadian government assisting with relocation or housing? At this point, we haven't heard anything. We do know that the Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs are currently in Europe right now, and I think are kind of taking an evaluation of the situation to be able to come back and make some decisions. So the question, the answer to that is, as far as we know, is no. I hope that helps the Canadian context a little bit better. It will be an open work permit with a simplified process. Tobacco, that's great. And is it only for those reuniting with families in Canada? No. So if you do decide that you want to come to Canada, you don't necessarily need to have a family here on the ground. The option is that if you do have family here, that you can apply for permanent residency. The first stream is for a two-year settlement with the option to apply for a job. So they're trying to leave this as open-ended and flexible as possible. How long approximately will the Canadian government take to issue a work permit? That's an excellent question. I don't know, and I don't think they know yet either. It will probably depend on the flow of applications that they do have coming in. I imagine that they are resourcing to ensure that they can help support and supply a high volume of applications, which I would assume. And again, I think it will also depend on whether or not some of those visas are processed here in Canada upon arrival, or if they're processed in the country that they were applied for. I think that's about it from my end. How are Ukrainians getting flights to Canada? I don't know the answer to that question, and I'm not sure if the government of Canada will be assisting on any additional evacuation measures in that regard. I know that there is, some companies on the ground that are working to get employees or family members of employees out. But you can imagine it's a very tense, and it needs to be a very sophisticated sort of measure of evacuation. What is the definition of family? I'm not sure. What I have understood in the past, though, that they have expanded sort of the nuclear family definition to extend to cousins, aunts and uncles. But I think that there'll be some more details when that comes out. And I would assume that they will be flexible on that. If it's, it would be very difficult just to say you can only come to Canada if it's your parents versus you can come to Canada if it's your aunt and uncle. Ukrainians can come to Canada and only if they apply for a work permit. Do we know how long the process will take to get to the work permit? Well, that's an interesting question, because I think it will depend on the sector you work in as well. So say, for instance, you come to Canada on the first authorization for emergency travel, and you're here for maybe 6 months. So you have a right to be in Canada, and then you decide that you're going to start to look for work. It would depend on, if you were going to try and find a job with VanHack. We know that these things work quickly under the global skills strategy. I've seen a number of other employers across the country raise their hand outside of the tech space. So I think I would imagine that some of the follow-on processes for work permits will be flexible as well. Is there a place the employer can advertise their need for Ukrainian employees? I think that's VanHack, right?
Yeah, you can definitely post a job on VanHack. And just for everyone talking about hiring, we're going to talk about right after this. So sit tight. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm just scrolling through these questions to make sure. Lots of talk about immigration resources to Ukrainian cases. I certainly think it's a high priority for the government. And if folks don't know, the Deputy Prime Minister of Canada is Ukrainian. And she spent a lot of time living in Ukraine. And so I think that this is a very near and dear to her heart. See some questions here for Ilya. If a Canadian employer wants to hire Ukrainian, do we need to apply for a work permit, or can we support their relocation to Vancouver without a work permit under this program? I don't know the answer to that question. It depends. I think probably them, arriving in Canada, but the work permit is usually applied for by the candidate themselves, not the company. There's a sponsorship element, of course, that the company needs to support, but the application is done by he or she who requires the work permit.
Dana, I believe that there's no work permit application needed. Is that right? For
There's
Ukrainian?
no work permit application needed, correct, for this stream.
Yeah.
But I think in the event that perhaps somebody was already in Canada, maybe 6 months down the road, it would be up to the employee to apply for that work permit. But again, depending on the volume of how many Ukrainians come to Canada, I would estimate that it's going to, the government is going to make it as easy as possible for employers to hire Ukrainians. I can't imagine they would want to, create more red tape. So it would be almost like a semi visa to be able to work in Canada post receiving the first piece. So, yeah. Okay. The last thing I'm just going to say here is that there is lots of questions. So if they do continue to come up and they come at me, that's totally fine. You can also DM me. I'll pop my email into the chat. My colleague Sarah Pasenica has also popped into the chat. There's a form that they have created. So basically like a helpline. So if you do know people who have applied for a visa under a pre-existing circumstance or had sort of temporary PR or something to that degree where they were concerned about their visa situation, what you can do is you can use the web form here that has been shared with the keyword Ukraine 2022. I'll pop it into the chat just to make it a little bit more clear yet again. And what you can do there is make sure that you just let them know that you're in a situation or you know someone who is in a situation, and they'll expedite that. They've created kind of their own response stream on that front. Good question around expecting an influx of refugees. I don't know the answer to that question. I think, every single day we're seeing numbers. Last week it was 200,000. Now it's 500,000. It's up to 1 million refugees or, considered refugees, Ukrainians who have fled. Those of you who are keeping up with the news, it looks like a lot of people are also deciding to stay put. So depending on how bad things get, and, this is not a discussion around geopolitics on decisions people are making, more about how we can help them. It will just depend, but I do know that there have been evacuation plans put into place more on the eastern side of the country, and with a priority around evacuating communities and cities that have had high volume of fighting and shelling. Okay, great. Ilya, I think that's probably it. Okay, we're at 2.2 million people who have left the country. Wow, that's incredible. So never did I think we would be on a conversation or on a discussion or webinar talking about these things, but I'll pop my email into the group chat, and we can do this again. Happy to share more information as it comes. But I would expect that probably sometime next week, Thursday or Friday, that the application process will launch. As they said, it was going to be 2 weeks from when they originally announced it, which was last Thursday. So hopefully that helps everybody.
Incredible, Dana. Thank you so much for your help. And I believe there's also a Slack group that you created. I think that might be a good resource for folks as well.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. And Sarah has just popped it into the group as well. So please feel free to join and share what you need in there.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So for the next 30 minutes, let's talk about hiring, and also happy to take questions. So yeah, I guess there was a question from Mike Kleinman, and I just want to answer that because he actually used the Q&A there. So really exciting that you, so he says he's about to hire a Ukraine developer who's in Poland, sorry, and make an offer and manage the visa ourselves. Yeah, Mike, we'll be happy to help you with that process. So VanHack is offering free immigration services for any Ukraine hires. So feel free to reach out to myself or anyone from our team, and we'll probably just reach out to you actually after this. So that's really exciting though. Yeah, hopefully that hire works out and you can relocate that person. So Mike, our team will be in touch. And I'm just curious, Mike, were you able to find that person through the VanHack portal or through another way? Oh wow, that's incredible. Wow, okay, great. So Yeah, that's really cool. So yeah, awesome. Yeah, sorry, just for everyone to know, like we've been working really hard as a company internally for the last 2 weeks, and there's a lot of things happening quickly, and it's really nice to see like that leading to something. So Mike, hopefully that's the first of many, and yeah, really excited to see that. Yeah, congrats. So let's talk about hiring other people. First thing, yeah, so there's a lot to talk about. Okay. Anyone post a job? Yeah. So, okay, let me maybe talk about the VanHack portal and how that'll work. And I said I won't show any slides, but if it's okay, I'll just share my screen and try not to bore you with this, but just for everyone who maybe hasn't seen our platform before, here it is. So this is the talent pool of VanHack. This is the view that we usually have just kind of for searching and for demo purposes, because really what happens in kind of regular process is we'll post a job for you, and I can show you what that looks like as well. But here's a list of 98 candidates that are looking for a job who are from Ukraine but aren't in Ukraine right now. So these are, especially with the challenge of men not being able to leave the country, you can, I'll share this link as well after, but this is a good list just to start with. And then we also have another list of candidates who we'll share as well. But basically, we're just trying to call right now. Our team is looking and trying to get in touch with as many candidates from Ukraine. Call them, talk to them, see if they are in a position to be able to do job interviews. Many aren't. So we're trying to filter and sort that right now. Yeah, you can post a job on VanHack. The problem with posting a job actually is because you'll get candidates from everywhere. Like VanHack has developers. We have over 300,000 candidates on our platform. So you'll get candidates from all over the world. And it might be frustrating for those candidates if you post a job and just want to hire Ukrainian engineers. So I would actually just reach out to them here. You can either send them a message on the VanHack portal. All the profiles have resumes, phone numbers, emails, so you can email that person. My favorite feature is the video. Just very quickly.
Hello, my name is Andrei Bizing. I'm a Shepherd developer with 13 years of experience.
So yeah, that's really cool. And then there's a lot of other data you can get about the candidate, etc. So yeah, that's the platform. I'll stop sharing, but just for everyone to understand how the platform works, and if there's more questions about that, I can show again. But yeah, we're just really trying to reach out and filter the candidates who are actually actively looking for a job, as well as able to. Of course, there are men in Ukraine who do want to work remotely, and once the war ends, we'll leave. But we also have a filter of Ukrainian people who are not in Ukraine right now, which could be kind of more of a higher likely chance that those people aren't involved in fighting or any of the refugee issues. So I'll stop sharing. But yeah, is the Slack page opening? Okay. Can you please claim a picture of who you have available, make offers, immigration steps, how long it takes, costs? Okay. This applies to people that are outside. Yeah, so VanHack is waiving our fees for all Ukrainians. Like, doesn't matter where in the world they are. If you have a Ukraine passport, like there's no fee. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna go back to the Slack chat, just to see if there's more other questions. I was told they waive fees for pays, but it's not enforced your partner contracts. Yeah, Valerie, we actually created a new contract. So if you want to sign a new contract with us, for legal reasons, like, trust me, we will not charge you. This is being recorded. We will not send an invoice for Ukrainian hire. But if you are more comfortable signing another contract with us that has that in writing, we do have a special agreement, because a lot of companies that we worked with, previous to the last 2 weeks, have their kind of regular contract that doesn't include that clause, but we have added that. So how do you get to, Greg, great question. So how do you get access to the VanHack portal? The only thing we need is to have a hiring partner agreement in place, and that's just for privacy reasons. The way that VanHack works is we don't charge you anything up front. You only pay if you hire someone. And we just can't give everyone access to our entire talent pool, because that's gonna put us out of business basically. Or our business is to make the connections, right? And then we also haven't gotten permission from those candidates to share their information publicly. So we can't create a page and say, here's all these people who are looking for jobs, and what if those people aren't looking for jobs or don't want their employers or whatever people to know that. So we have shared a few candidates publicly on social media who have agreed. But if you do want to get access to the platform, Just need to sign the terms of service. Again, it says no fee for Ukrainian hires, and you'll get access to the platform right away. So we have a page, vanhack.com/Ukraine, where you can go to and book a call with our team to get that all set up and all your questions answered directly one-on-one with someone from our team. Right away, Anja. We won't be connecting you with the candidates because there's just too much going on. What we'll do is we'll give you access to that list, and you can reach out to the candidates, right? You'll have their email, their phone number. You can send them a chat message on VanHack directly. So yeah, that's the way that we're doing it right now. Yeah, our pleasure, Elena. It wouldn't feel right to charge for we want to help. We did a similar thing around the Afghanistan war in August last year, and it's part of what we do. Skilled labor, yeah, actually we do. Yeah, so one of our customers actually is a company called Faber, faberconnect.com. So Lisa, here, if you're looking for skilled laborers, yeah, I think they can help with that. So please reach out. Andrea, I've shared that. Nikki, thank you very much. All right. All right, did I miss any questions here? Okay, could you, Jeff Tilton is asking, can you please paint a clear picture of who you have available, how we can make offers, what immigration steps? Yeah, so who we have available is what I showed there on the platform. And some slides probably would have been helpful. I guess so, Jeff, but I don't know. I get so bored when someone shares their screen and shows me slides. I just zone out. Hopefully this is more fun and interactive. So basically, what happens is you get access to the platform. You can make an offer directly to that candidate. You don't need to have VanHack involved. Just make the offer directly. Let us know if that you've made the offer, because we obviously want to know that things are working out, and also help with the immigration steps that are needed. We'll be able to apply, in next week or end of next week or beginning of the week after for the Ukraine visa process to have that speed work permit, and the candidate can then relocate. So that's really it. I hope that makes sense, Jeff. And sorry for no slides. Seeing the portal is helpful. That's good to hear, Sarah. Yeah, and anyone could just go to vanhack.com/Ukraine. I also made this link of which is a different, like, we're going to update the link there because it doesn't show the candidates outside Ukraine, but this link shows Ukrainians outside of Ukraine. So I shared that. Do we have to? You don't have to. No, Maya, you do not have to use VanHack for the immigration component. That's up to you. Yeah, we'll definitely help. We'll definitely help guide with immigration. VanHack has a global mobility team inside of VanHack. Like, we're the largest international tech recruiting company in Canada and one of the largest in the world. So we have global mobility experts in-house, and we will help you with all the visa process. That's one of our specialties. Who can I contact already? Have a contract with Ukraine and want to bring them to Canada? That's I guess me. Yeah, or maybe our head of global mobility probably makes more sense. So let's just, I'm not sure, Karan, if you're on the webinar. Yeah, there he is. So there's Karan. He's our head of global mobility, the best immigration consultant I've ever worked with. And he's here to help. So Ekaterina, please go ahead. So Tanis, what does that include? Yeah, so that includes basically helping apply for the LMIA or the labor market impact assessment for the company side. Or I guess in this case, really, it just helps you apply for the new Ukraine visa process, which, as Dana mentioned, is pretty simple and will be available next week. But we'll help answer your questions and make sure things go well. How fast can they start working for a Canadian company? They can start working remotely. So this is a really good question, Yuna. So Yuna's asking, how fast can people start working? So like any hire made from abroad, you can have that person start working as a contractor remotely, and then so they can start right away, or whenever their notice period is, if they're still working. Yeah. Craig, that's really nice to hear. Thank you. I'm going to take a screenshot of that and share that with our entire team, what you just said there. Thank you so much, Craig. That means a lot. When VanHack.com/employers getting a 404. Interesting. Maybe because we're updating our website. I'm not sure. That's strange. Sorry, let me just double check what's going on there. It works for me. VanHack.com/employers is working for me. So I'm not sure. Deanne, I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe just go back to VanHack.com and try and click on I'm hiring. I'm not sure. If you're already, hey Jeremy, you can already just go to VanHack.com/Ukraine and you'll be able to access. So yeah, there's a link, show all. Lisa, parent, I don't know anyone for the Ukraine situation, especially in Manitoba with mechanics. So I'm sorry about that. How do they go work remotely? Do they need hardware? Yeah, so that's a great question about hardware. That really depends on the candidates. Like sometimes people have their own laptops, right? And they're able to work on that. Sometimes employers ship the laptop to the company. That really depends on how you say the candidate situation. So yeah. So you make sure the candidates in a profile have everything they need. We actually don't. That's a really interesting point that we might be able to ask. Like, can add that to their profile as like a thing that they say. We've never got that question before, but typically candidates have access to a laptop. Yeah, sorry, I was taking that screenshot there of what Greg said. Got it. Okay, cool. Any other questions? Oh, I see the www. I see. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe like, let me just copy and paste the HTTP full link for people. Yeah. I see another question here. Are the candidates in the VanHack portal those that have managed to leave Ukraine? Yeah, Timur, we do have candidates who have managed to leave Ukraine. I believe I shared that that link here, and I'll share it again. So yeah, I'll just share that link. These are VanHack Ukrainian developers who are on the VanHack portal who have left Ukraine. It's that bit.ly link, and we'll make it more clear. We'll probably build something on the top menu or something to make it clear once you're in the VanHack portal, how to find candidates that are available. Great. Jeremy, was it clear what I said before? Were you able to find candidates? Ryan, our team so Ryan asked for people wanting to leave Ukraine and make it to Canada. Is there a resource where people can go? We have a blog post that we share that has resources. If someone from our marketing team could just pop that please into the chat. Yes, Ukrainian women do have liberty to leave. Anja, great question. We do have women on the platform. I believe we have 22. Thank you, Sean, for sharing that. Sorry, we have 87. Or no, let me put maybe who've logged in the last month. That'll probably make it more accurate. 17. So there's not too many. There's only 17, but you know, hey, better than zero. That's the link. It's going to be a big link there, but that's a link to women on VanHack who are Ukrainian and looking to relocate. Yeah, so VanHack is not Vancouver Hack, it's a van that moves hackers, Sandy. So we have actually worked with a lot of companies. Actually, one of our best customers is TrackTick. They're out in Montreal. So we love working with companies in Quebec and Montreal. Great place to help people move to. Yeah, Darren, thank you for answering that. Okay. Yeah, Yuna, hey, TrackTick. Yeah, we I believe there's like 20, almost 20 VanHackers hired in TrackTick. Yeah, I don't know the exact number, but I believe it's close to 20 in the last 12 months or so. So yeah. I lost count, exactly. Our pleasure, Dirk. Thank you. Happy to help. I'm just curious now who Mike from Touch Bistro hired. That's really exciting. Do people need in Canada? You're not able to copy and paste. Anja, probably better just to reach out to our team and let me make a bit.ly that probably will actually, let me just do that right now. Creating links on the fly here. That probably will help you copy and paste it. So yeah, that, oh, Michael, thank you. I just got your name. Awesome. I got your email, sorry. Thank you so much. Okay, here we go. Perfect, it works great. Yeah, and make sure you're logged into VanHack to see full candidate profiles. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm here to stay. I'll stay here as long as people have questions. But I guess the biggest thing right now is just we need to move quickly to help people get hired, and hopefully we can have a few more wins, a few more people's lives changed and ability to relocate. We'll do another session. Maybe, I guess. It's a good point, Stephanie. We'll talk internally about it. Yeah. Sorry, just some questions here distracting me. But yeah, we'll talk internally about having another session, maybe next week, maybe the week after. We'll also be keeping people updated through email and social. Yeah, I guess we'll see about the next session. That's yeah. Can VanHack provide a short list? So Jeremy, we're not doing that for the Ukraine candidates just because there's honestly so many employers, and it's just a lot. But what you can do, and if you'll allow me to share my screen again, sorry, just checking my email, is you can filter the talent pool. So Jeremy, what skill are you looking to hire? Oh, where's the chat? Yeah, Ryan, we'll email this for sure. Currently outside of Ukraine, how long? Richard, I believe it's you can just bring them to Canada if they're outside of Ukraine. Like, get them on a tourist visa and get them on a plane as soon as possible, and they can apply for their work permit in the country with the new Ukraine visa. So if the person's outside of Ukraine, and also women, they can just get on a plane and come to Canada as a tourist, and then apply for the work permit in Canada. I believe that's the fast route, but I'm sure the global mobility team knows. Java full stack. So Java, and what's the full stack? I'm guessing that means like how you say like front end too, like React, or what other? Sorry, I just put, let's put, yeah. So you can search here. So there's 53 candidates here who are Java, and yeah. So I think that's what I would do, is instead of like, because again, we can't send a short list, but you can just filter here. And you can also filter, like, for example, years of experience, right? So if you want someone with, let's say, 4 years plus, you can filter years of experience. Also, you can see people who only have, verified English. So there's a lot of things you can do here to just get out to this list. And now you have 25 and you can reach out to them like that. So I'll stop sharing. But yeah, my pleasure. Just keep in mind as well that not everyone's going to answer. Everyone's situation is changing. So yeah, I would just message everyone you want to message, and hopefully a few people will reply. But yeah, do you have ability to enable hires working for remote Mojang candidates? Yeah, we can. We can definitely help with remote if candidates are open to that. Yeah, our pleasure, Mike. Sorry, Mark. Excuse me. Yeah, we're trying our best here. Like, yeah. I'm just gonna keep screenshotting the chat here. Wilson, thank you so much. That's really nice to hear. Yeah. Fired in the last 4 months for VanHack whole team's responsive. That's really nice to hear. Thank you, Wilson. Cool. Thank you, Alice, for the nice words. Athena as well. Sorry, Athea. I mispronounced. Anthea. I'm so sorry. Anthea. That's a cool name. Thank you, Lucia. All right. Yeah, I think we're good. Thank you, Dana. Let's wrap things up. If anyone has any other questions, we're going to send an email right now with kind of a wrap up, the video recording as well, some links. Please, if you already are a VanHack hiring partner, thank you for being part of our community. You'll have full access there. Thank you again to Dana and to Michael for presenting. Pavel, thank you so much. Evelyn, thank you. Isabel, thank you so much. Katarina, spasiba. Jennifer, good to see you here. Thank you as well. Yeah, we'll be in touch with all the information, all the details, all those things. So yeah, Lisa, thanks. I'm just going to keep saying thanks to everybody. But yeah, please have a great day. This was a really inspiring and really exciting, especially seeing Michael making that offer, and then hopefully many others coming soon. So yeah, Sham, Sarah, Bradford, thank you. Yeah, please send an email. Please send the confirmation to hr@quartech.com. Someone from the team VanHack, please check that. Jakuimoy, that's cool. Jakumio, hopefully I'm saying that right. Jamie, thank you so much. Richard, thank you as well. Stephanie, merci beaucoup. Yeah, success stories, exactly. That's it. I'm looking forward to those as well. And also maybe one thing just quickly is I'm going to be sharing, if anyone wants to add me on LinkedIn, I'm going to be sharing candidate profiles that have agreed to be shared publicly every day. We actually have one. I should have shared his profile earlier. His name's Boris. He's a DevOps engineer, and he's agreed to have his profile shared publicly. So if anyone here is hiring DevOps, he's a little bit on the junior side, only 2 years experience, but yeah, maybe that's something that could be an interesting hire for you. So Carlo, yeah, architect is always hiring us. Yeah, so Rosie and Carlo, please reach out to Boris. He's agreed to have his information shared publicly. Of course, we have other DevOps engineers who are on the platform, but we just haven't had a chance to get in touch with them yet. But yeah, Rosie and Carlo, hopefully, it works out for both. And I know there's one candidate, but anyway, you both make offers. Ryan Gallagher, tell me about it, right? It's definitely a talent, yeah, a lot of demand for talent. Ryan, my pleasure, our pleasure. Yeah, I guess I also want to say huge thank you to the VanHack team. I have Grace and Gretel here behind the scenes, running the controls. Thank you for that, and a bunch of people from our growth team as well on the call too. So, and Karan as well from our global mobility team. Cool. I mean, as long as there's attendees here, I'm going to just keep talking. So feel free to leave. And if you have other questions, we'll be here as well to answer them. No such thing as a silly question. There are actually other 2 candidates who've previously agreed to have their profile shared publicly. So let me share their profiles here. Thank you, Scott. Scott Spencer. It's a cool name. All right, so there's Natalia and Anna. So let me just find their profiles here quickly. So here's Anna. She's a Java, like a QA and a front-end developer. And then this is also, I forgot, there's a marketing social media manager, Victoria. Yeah, you can, Rosie, if you want to share Boris's profile publicly he's agreed to have his profile shared publicly. So if you want to share that post or his LinkedIn profile, he's looking for a job and he's okay to have that be shared publicly. So I think it's okay. So there's Natalia, Victoria, and Anna as well. So you can reach out to them directly there. But yeah, also we have, you know, the vanhack.com/Ukraine list and the talent pool on our platform. So, yep. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks everyone again. I guess we can, where are you posting those? On my LinkedIn. So, and also the company VanHack LinkedIn. So, you know, you can follow VanHack LinkedIn page. I believe that's been shared here. Let me just share that again. Yeah. Thanks, Andrew, for the follow. Appreciate that. I see another question. Julie's asking, just for me to understand the process correctly, if we're looking to hire candidates for like, yeah, Julie, and I know that it's because of like terms of service privacy, and as well as like, if in order to give you access to our platform, like just technically we haven't built out a way for you just to have access to the Ukraine candidates and not have access to the 300,000 other people on our platform. And the way that our agreement works is you don't pay us anything unless you hire someone who, I guess in this case is non-Ukrainian. So if you just want to hire Ukrainian developers, the agreement won't charge you anything at all. So that's how it works. And we can't, we've only had permission from 4 people to have their profile shared publicly. So that's why we don't have everyone's profile shared publicly. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, thanks, Julie. Jamie, I think it's probably better to reach out to our team. You can reach out to me too. Yeah, I'm sure. Ilya@vanhack.com, no problem. Our team's getting a lot of call requests, so we're trying to take some load off their shoulders. So yeah, Jamie, just shoot me an email, and we might have to build a HelloSign API integration into the platform. I think we just do that actually. And then people don't need to get in touch with anyone. You can just sign the agreement directly on our website and go from there. That might be the simplest solution. Anyway, okay, great. We're at time here. Thank you everyone again for attending. I know this was a lot of information. Hopefully we can help everyone here hire some great talent. I guess, yeah, that's all. We'll be reaching out with a lot more information in email. And yeah, thanks again to everyone, especially the great team here at VanHack. So talk soon. Bye-bye.